Hello guys, welcome back to our Anime Explainer. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star based on novel. So let's start. Same here. Captain, what do we do since no one has been able to find it? A group of soldiers all looked at the four captains. The four captains exchanged glances. Eamon, the one with the most intimidating body and build, said seriously, "We have 80 people, we've spent so much time, and searched every inch of Earth's oceans without any luck. The next step, are we to engage in Lord Puler's plan?" "Yes." Tualewu nodded. "According to the plan Lord Puler gave to us, there are two possibilities with regards to the swallowing beast. 1, the humans have it either to dissect and research or keep. 2, they don't have it, its body is still in the ocean. Since right now we've searched and there's no sign of its body at all in the oceans, then they humans definitely have it." America, Washington base, what a beautiful day. Boris Brent was all smiles as he walked out of the White House. In the distance, policemen rushed to help open the car doors. Bowley entered the cars, and 2 bodyguards swiftly followed, and the chauffeur immediately departed. It was too cramped in the survival bases. With only that much space, it was too uncomfortable. Luckily, that group of evil aliens have all left. Bowley smiled as he said to the black bodyguard beside him, "David, should I display some form of gratitude towards the noble Mr. Luo Feng?" "Yes, sir." The bodyguard smiled, revealing a very white set of teeth. "Okay." Boris smiled and nodded. "According to the data we acquired from the Virtual Universe Network, our Earth is within the dark space. The next time aliens actually try and invade, would take at least a few years. Our people of Earth are very confident. Look, the stocks which had dropped to near zero before are bustling and live again. David, if you had listened to me earlier, you would have earned a great deal of money." The bodyguard maintained his smile. "Yes. After experiencing that crisis, the people of Earth were filled with hope for the future. Hello, dear. I'll be home in 5 minutes. Yes, relax, I've already prepared a present. Yes, I'll give you a surprise later." Boris smiled as he called. Suddenly his expression changed. This was because he had just realized, the chauffeur had actually driven and parked the car in an unfamiliar road. Boris said, "Hey, this is the wrong way. Turn back." The moment the words left his mouth, he suddenly felt an extreme sense of weariness envelope him. Question him. Tualewu gave the order. "Yes, Captain." The three-eyed man looked at Boris. Without speaking, the quantum computer spoke in English. "Tell me your name." "Boris Brent." Boris said, dazed. "The swallowing beast incident, where is that beast's body?" The three-eyed man's quantum computer spoke basic English. "No idea." Boris's eyes weren't focused at all. Tualewu and the three-eyed man glanced at each other. Where's the most likely place the body of the swallowing beast could be right now? The three-eyed man asked again. The swallowing beast was fought by the combined forces of the 6 great heroes and finally killed by China's Luo Feng. Everybody thought back then that Luo Feng had died, but a year after, he actually returned alive. The countries all think that wherever the body of the swallowing beast is, Luo Feng would know the best. Boris said. The three-eyed man asked again. Are there any other possibilities? Either the other countries may have acquired it, or it was eaten by the sea creatures. Boris said. The alley went silent. Captain. The three-eyed man looked at the captain, Luo Feng. Tualewu pondered for a moment, opening his communicator. Rongji, Abuluot, take your teams individually and capture the leading brains of the 5 great countries. I'll personally take a team and go capture the close ones of the planet leader. Yes. The other 3 captains complied. Yangju City, Westlake Courtyard, Luo Feng's castle. The Nuolan Shan family fleet had entered universe travel and left the solar system. This was something actually recorded by the surveillance devices set up around the solar system. Since everybody knew that the Nuolan Shan family had left, large amounts of the people within the survival bases naturally came out. After all, the personal space within the bases was quite small. Ping ping, little Hai, when you are home, listen to your grandfather and grandmother. Shushin finished her lunch and smiled at her 2 sons. Mama, I want to follow you out. Little Hai shouted, Mama has some business matters to attend to. Shushin kissed her 2 sons before heading to the car and leaving the castle. Since the crisis had passed, life gradually returned to normalcy. Large amount of powerful warriors were scattered around the castle surroundings. These were all what Luo Feng bought before. Run a little faster, Lit Hai is so fast. Ping ping, keep going, keep going. Luo Hongguo and Gong Xinlan were happily on the grass outside the castle playing with their grandchildren. Beside in the distance, Junnan was sitting in chair reading a book. Just from watching Ping Ping, and Little Hai made her look down and occasionally rub her belly. Remember, everybody must be careful. The moment we act, we must swiftly capture the Earth leader's close ones. In mid-air, with Tuolewu as the leading warrior, 20 beams of light swiftly flew towards Yangju City. Every one of them brought with them a camouflage device. Even on normal planets such as Bilan Star, these could be used, much less Earth. There's another 300 kilometers, we'll be there shortly. We must be fast. The grass patch outside the castle, Luo Hongguo, Gong Xinlan were still playing with their grandchildren. Luo Hongguo and Gong Xinlan's faces were pale white. Grandfather. Grandmother. The two children were very flustered. The castle security warning system has an area of 20,000 meter. Mengta's expression was serious. He said solemnly, according to the level of enemies approaching, the warning system will give out a different alarm sound. The alarm from before represented that the approaching enemies were at least of our level. Their specific levels and strengths will only be known from checking the defense system. Virtual Universe Network, Black Dragon Mountain Island. Sir, this manor requires 15 million Black Dragon dollars. It's definitely luxurious and comfortable, suitable for your status and position. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God were looking at houses. They were getting ready to buy a house within the Virtual Universe Network. It's really expensive. Even the items in the Virtual Universe Network are so expensive. Thunder God snapped, hold on a moment. Luo Feng realized that there was a call request. Looking at the spirit imprint matched to the Virtual Universe Network number, it was actually his own father. An image appeared before Luo Feng. His father Luo Hongguo looked pale and terrified, saying anxiously, Luo Feng, there are aliens attacking our home. The defense system shows that the enemies are 5-star level 9s, 15-star level 7 and 8s. I think that the Nuolan Shan family probably hasn't totally left. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God's expression changed. Dad, attacking the castle. Are there any injuries? Luo Feng said anxiously, many of the guards have died. We and Ping Ping and Little Hai, along with Junnan are in the castle without harm. However, Shushin and your little brother Luo Hua are outside, because of work. Luo Hongguo said worriedly. Earth, China. Luo Feng's castle was a symbolic structure of Yangju City, but it was currently being attacked like crazy. Boom. Boom. The entire castle shook again and again, as it was attacked by lightning-like images using either their fists or weapons. The powerful shockwaves crazily spread out, and within a radius of a few kilometers, destroyed the lawn of Westlake Courtyard, revealing the ugly dirt and stone below. Large amounts of smashed rock flew around, which damaged a few streets and residential areas outside of Westlake Courtyard. The flying rocks were no weaker than bullets. Cries of pain sounded across, with Westlake Courtyard in the center. The few surrounding kilometers of Westlake Courtyard were filled with people, so the amount of casualties rose to the thousands. Thankfully, these star-level traveler fighters were all focusing their attacks on the castle. If they spread out, then one of their attacks could completely decimate a sector and cause damage to over a 100 kilometers radius. What's going on? We still haven't broke it. Tuo Lei Wu in his black battle uniform hovered in front of the castle like a warrior god. His 19 underlings transformed into 19 flowing lights as they attacked the castle again and again. Captain. A dark blue image stopped near him and said in a hurry, this castle definitely wasn't created on Earth. This is a transportable castle sold to the wealthy in the universe. The structure of the castle was constructed with safety as its top priority. Especially the central area of the castle, it's definitely at AC rank safety level bastard. Tuo Lei Wu's face became colder and colder. Captain. Another squad member instantly appeared beside him and hovered there as he hurriedly said, we can't break through. We should just go and capture Luo Feng's wife and brother. Luo Feng's parents and 2 children are in the castle. They are his most important family members. Only by catching them can we achieve the greatest effect. Tuo Lei Wu's face became worse and worse. In the vast universe, powerful universe fighters usually have many wives. Captain, Earth usually goes by a monogamous system, so his wife is still important to him, said the squad member. Since this Luo Feng is the leader of Earth and has a huge amount of wealth, he'll definitely have more than one wife in the future. Tuo Lei Wu frowned as he said, whatever. Since we can't get to his parents and children, capture his wife and brother immediately. Yes, the squad members obeyed respectfully. Large amounts of flowing lights flew away, leaving behind only the extremely damaged castle and the ruined lawn. The sound of an alarm reverberated in the sky of Yangju City. holy. My heavens, this as they stood on the ruins of destroyed homes, a group of police looked into the distance with shock. In front of them, huge ditches that were a few kilometers long and several dozen meters deep seemed to have been created from the blade of a deity. The beautiful West Lake courtyard has already become a ruin. Other than the tattered castle that still stands, everything else has been destroyed. Luo Feng's castle sure is tough. The aliens blew past one layer of the castle walls, but the resulting shockwave has already destroyed the surrounding land and the walls of Westlake Courtyard. Two high-ranking military personnel talked on the car. How many people died? 812 deaths, several thousand injured. I can't believe the people from the Nguyen Shan family still haven't left. To Earth overall, the destruction of Westlake Courtyard and the damage caused to the surrounding civilians is something big, but not big enough to threaten the entire world. The thing that truly shocked every county was that this showed the people from the Nguyen Shan family still haven't left. Shushin, hurry and get to the survival base. Yes, don't delay. Right now. Shushin, who received Luo Feng's notification from the consciousness sensor helmet she carried around with her at all times, arranged for a fighter jet to come as she prepared to fly directly to the survival base. Earth, South America. Because of population issues, South America only has two headquarter cities. One of them is Brasilia headquarter city, which is primarily made up of Brazilians from before the Grand Nirvana period. There were also people from other South American countries there too. One of the courtyards in Brasilia headquarter city, Rongji is back. Three men in black battle uniforms raised their heads and watched as another squadron swiftly landed from the sky. Captain Rongji. All of them have been captured. Way too easy. The four captains stood together. Because their spaceship was hidden in the Amazon forest, and they didn't want to keep living in the forest while they were on Earth. They picked the nearby Brasilia headquarter city, and chose a decent area to build a decent courtyard. As for the original owner of this area, he has long become fertilizer. Get all of them here, ordered to Olei Wu. Yes, Captain. The leaders of the five powerful countries, Shushin and Luohua, were all escorted to the huge lawn of the courtyard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tuolei Wu looked at the 7 people and revealed a smile. It is my honor to meet you guys. He spoke in the universe language, and the quantum computer automatically translated into Chinese and English. The faces of Tuolei Wu and the other 3 captains all changed. Their goal on Earth was to find the body of the swallowing beast. Wake up, yelled Rongji. The 7 of them awakened, and all of them exchanged glances, their faces changing slightly. Madam Luo, I need you to enter the virtual universe network immediately. I will accompany you, said Tuolei Wu in a low tone. If you don't accept, you should know that many people will die. I'm sure, with your kindness, you will accept. Shushin took in a deep breath and slightly nodded. She had no choice. Shushin had no power to resist this universe adventuring squad that can capture the leaders of the 5 powerful countries without trying. Virtual universe. Shushin and Tuolei Wu appeared on the street at the same time. Tuolei Wu brought Shushin into a room in a bar. Contact Luo Feng, commanded Tuolei Wu. Remember, do as I told you. Okay. Shushin could only send the invitation. In just a moment, Luo Feng, Hong, and Thunder God appeared on the screen in front of them. Shushin. Luo Feng's cold face finally let out some happiness. You arrived at the survival base. You're fine. I'm fine, Shushin said. Luo Feng, the humans from the universe squad that invaded our home captured Brother Luohua, and then used Brother Luohua's phone, and then called me, and then made me tell them where the corpse of the swallowing monster is. If I don't tell them, they'll kill Brother Luohua. I don't even know where the corpse of the swallowing monster is. What should I do? Tuolei Wu stood in the corner of the room as he coldly watched. According to his plan, he'll first get Shushin to ask her husband. It is easy to give out the information when a wife is asking her husband. If that doesn't work, he'll force out the information. Luo Feng, if you don't say anything, Brother Luohua is going to die, said Shushin hurriedly. What are you asking this for? The corpse of the swallowing beast has already rotted away. Luo Feng started to become nervous, because he knew Shushin has been captured. Because Shushin has already been hinting at that fact. When Shushin usually talks about Luohua, she'll usually directly say your brother, or Luohua. She wouldn't say something like Brother Luohua. And Shushin said, Brother Luohua, several times in the conversation, and she spoke in quite a weird tone. And Tuolei Wu, who is relying on his mini-quantum computer for translations, wouldn't be able to realize this at all. Mr. Leader, an image appeared beside Shushin. Luo Feng stared at the cold man in front. Don't lie to us like you lied to your wife. There is no way the corpse of the swallowing monster will rot away in a short 3 years. Tell me, where is it? Said Tuo Lei-wu in a low tone. If you don't tell me, your brother, wife, and countless others will lose their lives. Luo Feng stared at Tuo Lei-wu. You're from the Nolan Shan family. Nuolan Shan family. What do they have to do with us? Are you joking? Laughed Tuo Lei-wu. Suddenly, his tone became cold as he yelled, stop wasting time, are you going to tell me or not? Bastard. Luo Feng's expression was complicated. 10 seconds, if you don't tell me in 10 seconds, I'll kill your brother first, said Tuo Lei-wu coldly. 10. 9. Stop playing these childish games. Luo Feng stared at Tuo Lei-wu. Don't you want to know about the corpse of the golden horned beast? Stop saying swallowing beast, you think I don't know? Good. Tuo Lei-wu laughed. As an elite in the top 10 of Nuolan Shan's guards, he indeed has heard of the swallowing beast. However, in Pula's plan, everyone was commanded to just say swallowing beast. However, I can't completely trust you, said Luo Feng. I understand. Tuo Lei-wu nodded. We'll exchange the people and the corpse of the golden horned beast at the same time, said Luo Feng coldly. The corpse of the golden horned beast actually isn't even on Earth. It is on an uninhabited planet that needs around 10 days to reach while flying at a rate of 20,000 kilometers per second. So, no matter how hard you search on Earth, you won't be able to find it. Tuo Lei-wu's eyes flashed as he complimented. Nice, smart, Mr. Leader. I'm starting to respect you. Yes, a treasure like the corpse of the golden horned beast indeed needs to be hidden. Well, tell me, where is it? Tuo Lei-wu started to get a bit excited. The corpse of the golden horned beast was too important. It was way more valuable than the property of the entire Nuolan Shan family. Mr. Luo Feng, you said you want me to transport 100 star level 9 slaves to Bailan Star within a day. 1 day is just too short. 1 day's time, which is to say, we have to complete the transaction within the Silver Blue Empire. Star level 9 slaves aren't common to begin with. In a small area like the Silver Blue Empire, even if I make arrangements with other salesmen, there aren't that many. Stop wasting time. Up to how many can you bring within a day? I'll pay the full price, yelled Luo Feng. 8. To reach Bailan Star within a day, at most 8 star level 9 slaves can be sent. And you can't pick their race, gender, etc. The green-haired man shook his head helplessly. Mr. Luo Feng, is there really such a need to rush? 1 day, sigh, that's just too short. It takes almost 10 days to transport from Dragon Star to Bailan Star. Luo Feng was clear. It was hard for the slave salesman to transport star level 9 slaves to Bailan Star. Since there is a limit to how far you can fly in a day, if it's 8 at most, then just do 8, said Luo Feng. After finishing the call with Wooler. 12 hours later, they reached Bailan Star. The white snow fluttered about, extreme cold temperatures all about. The ship landed within the warehouse bases, in front of a castle, master. The slave guards were respectfully waiting in front of the base. Yes. Luo Feng swiftly exited from the cabin door. Thunder God and Hong followed behind. The metals master ordered have arrived. They are all stored in the warehouse. The slave guard captain said respectfully. Also, the slave owner's ship arrived too, delivering 3 slaves. Okay. Luo Feng nodded. The metals he ordered were the optimum combination the golden horned beast required during the star level. It allowed the evolution speed multiplier go up to 89 times. The metal groups he ordered the previous time cost 10 billion black dragon dollars, and right now, they were just about depleted. Their multiplier efficiency had only reached 51 times. The slave guard captain watched as Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God entered the castle. The slave guard captain was somewhat shocked. The master usually had a smile when he arrived, yet why was his aura so angry and malevolent this time? Ever since the possession, Luo Feng's killing intent and aura had always been heavily brutal and savage. It was only because of his wife and children that helped diffuse this malevolence, that and Luo Feng's own self-control. This was why he was always courteous and never seemed to look down or bully anybody. One had to know, when Luo Feng first left the sea and killed Sego Neru and Atki, that was the Luo Feng without restraints. This time, Luo Feng's killing intent and savage side couldn't be held back any longer. Within the top floor of castle on Bailan Star. They had been on Bailan Star for about 9 hours. Just at that time, the last 5-star level 9 slaves were finally delivered. Third brother, you are taking the slaves back with you to Earth alone. Don't you need us with you? Thunder God stared wide-eyed. First and second brother, the battle this time mainly relies on the star level 9 slaves. You and I have no way to intervene at all. The only reason I'm going is to direct and give orders faster. If I didn't need to direct them, there's actually no need for me to go at all. Luo Feng explained. Hong and Thunder God understood. This battle was a battle between star level 9 warriors. Between the two of them, one was a star level 1 while the other was only a star traveler level 9. Going with them would be suicide. Third brother, you must be careful. Thunder God couldn't help but say, don't overdo it. Hong reminded. Luo Feng nodded, I'll be leaving first. Ever since he found out about his wife and little brother being taken hostage, he had lost all sense of restraint. It was only because he needed to wait for the 8 slaves that he held back till now. At the entrance of the castle, Hong and Thunder God watched as Luo Feng brought the 8-star level 9 slaves and took the ship, disappearing into the sky. Thunder God sighed angrily, looking to Hong beside him, Big brother, don't you feel really bad inside? A little. Hong slightly lifted his head, looking in the direction of which the ship disappeared. Fighters and spirit readers, over 99% of them joined the Universe Mercenary Alliance. This was also why the Battle Axe Colosseum, a terrifying place where there was a definite death every battle, was still popular and functioning. To one who acquires the title of Universe-level Battle Axe Warrior, the probability of reaching the Domain Lord could be said to be 50%. While for normal Universe levels to break into the Domain Lord level, the probability is absurdly low. This is the Killing Fields. Hong and Thunder God entered a large hall. This hall was enormous, comparable to even a city, however there weren't too many people within. It's truly imposing. Thunder God looked within the large hall. The huge blood backdrop caused him to compliment. How can it not be imposing? This place's prices are extremely expensive. I'm a star traveler level 9. A day here requires 1 million black dragon dollars, or 700 Ganwu dollars. This is definitely not something an average person could afford. Hong couldn't help but say, 1 million black dragon dollars is enough to even buy a huge warehouse base on Bailan's star. Over here, just one day was enough, but many people are still willing to come. Thunder God couldn't help but say, didn't you see the advertisement? Whatever kinds of enemies, they can completely customize them to your request. Indeed, that's what I like about here. Hong took a deep breath. Killing Fields. This was an extremely extravagant battle place. The customer could request from the virtual universe network with whatever he wants. For example, Hong was a star traveler level 9, his domain was at the 2nd level. He could totally request for a star level 9 with domain level 3. This was extremely difficult to do in reality. He could also request for 100-star traveler level 9 warriors to surround and attack him. These sort of meetings were extremely rare in reality. However, in the virtual universe, they were all possible. Of course, there were still differences between the virtual universe and reality, otherwise, the Battle Axe Colosseum wouldn't be so popular. Chulu, you'd made big this time, no? Still okay. However, we lost 3 of our people from our little team. No choice. Several small teams discovered the new world together. How could we not engage in battle? And who knows which sector Lord created the new world? Within it there were several treasures that I didn't manage to grab hold of. At least we managed to get 10,000 of the universe crystals. It's considered quite an earning. 10,000. This world, there's definitely more to be excavated there. The 3 men walked past from beside. On their left chest were medals. The picture of the medals were blood-red waves floating about a planet. Universe 1-star mercenaries. Hong and Thunder God looked at each other. The mercenary medal, the battle axe medal, etc. These were all medals recognized within the virtual universe. Through the virtual universe's customer screening through their quantum computers, or AI systems, while checking the user's data, it automatically recorded these details. The users could choose whether to display these or hide them. China East Side, within a particular wilderness area. A man dressed in a blood-red uniform, eyes gleaming from with rage, stood there. Behind him stood a row of 8 people, the shortest about 1.2 m while the tallest was about 4 m tall. There were both men and women. One of them in particular had a lion's head. Yes. These were the 8-star level 9 slaves Luo Feng had purchased. Due to time constraints, Luo Feng didn't have much to choose from, hence this 8 slaves had very big differences from the first batch that he bought. The first batch had appearances that were very similar to the humans of Earth. Without careful analysis, one couldn't even tell. From now on, you cannot be over 100 meters away from me. Luo Feng said using universe language, yes, master. Whether it was a loud reverberating, or deep and resounding, or clean and crisp voice, the complex mix resounded. The 8-star level 9 slaves replied respectfully. Luo Feng was expressionless. There was a fire raging in his eyes. Barbata, enter the entire planet's satellite network. Through the country's surveillance systems. Look for traces of those scum from the Nuolan Shan family. Luo Feng gave the order, yes. In the wilderness, Luo Feng and his 8 slaves were patiently waiting. Luo Feng, those scum must have hidden their signal, and they are using camouflage systems. The country's surveillance systems cannot detect them. Barbata was obviously dissatisfied. Oh, wait. What's wrong? Luo Feng listened intently. I realized that there's an AI system that has hacked into the Earth's satellite network. Hee, and it's a little punk. Barbata was obviously excited. Oh, I found it. This AI level probably corresponds to a basic level AI. It has entered the Earth's network, the entry point being South America, Brasilia headquarter city. South America. Luo Feng grinned slightly with a cold smile. A ship appeared in mid-air beside him, the cabin door automatically opening. Let's go. Luo Feng ordered. The 8 great slaves followed him into the ship. Flying from Asia to South America, even though Luo Feng's speed was incredible, it would still take a while. Using the universe ship, however, was extremely fast. Just like the Nuolan Shan family, Luo Feng's ship naturally had its own signal masking and camouflage systems and abilities. With Barbata around, Luo Feng's ship could camouflage itself even better than the Nuolan Shan family's. South America, Brasilia headquarter city. The villa that Tuolei Wu and his men had taken over was about 60 kilometers away. The ship floated. Remember, no one is to leave more than 100 meters away from me. Luo Feng stared coldly at the 8 great slaves. At the same time, no one is to make a single sound. Understood? Understood. The 8 great slaves replied, very good, let's go. Luo Feng flew out of the ship first, and the 8 great slaves followed. The 9 of them swiftly headed towards the villa. The little elite team probably would never have suspected that with their far more advanced technology than Earth, the only reason why they were finally discovered was because their AI had hacked into Earth's network systems and got discovered. There was no way around it, compared to Barbata, that Ari's capabilities were far too inferior. It's that villa in front. Barbata reminded. Luo Feng and the 8 great slaves floated in mid-air. However, the light around them was somewhat warping, causing the 9 who were floating in mid-air to be invisible to the people in the district below them. This sort of camouflage was purely a result of the study of light systems to hide oneself from sight. To the warriors and strong, however, as long as the distance was close, they could totally feel each other's energies. Barbata, have you checked on the situation inside? Luo Feng asked. My scanning system radius is 20,000 meter. Why don't you even take a look at where my security surveillance system is from? It's actually taken from the Yunmo planet ship. Barbata was extremely confident. Back then on Misty Island, he relied on the security surveillance system to scan every human's strength, potential, even the breadth of their brains he scanned from far. The Yunmo planet ship. Hu Yangbo's ship. Just how advanced was his security surveillance system? Checking in on a group of star level 9 warriors was too simple. They actually even installed a defense mechanism. Ha, in front of me, it's all a joke. Ho, take a look. 15 star level 9, 19 star level 8, 26 star level 7 warriors. The Nuolan Shan family has a total of 60 people. The captured HM, they are the leaders of the 5 great countries along with your wife Shushin, and your little brother Luo Hua. Barbata easily scanned everything. As long as it was within the 20,000 meter, 20 kilometers, area, he could easily scan everything clearly. 60 people. Luo Feng's eyebrows creased. 15 at star level 9 and 45 at star level 7 and 8. Their strength was double that of his. Luo Feng didn't know there was a separate group of 20 that was in a ship leaving Earth, heading towards Luo Feng's given coordinates, ready to search for the golden horned beast's body. Barbata, give me everyone's specific locations along with the entire blueprint of the villa, etc. Luo Feng was very clear. He needed to be extremely careful in this rescue mission. Just a small hiccup would result in undesired consequences. Within a short time, from now on, I will give you your orders through the mini quantum computer. Luo Feng's gaze swept past the 8 great slaves. You need to be extra careful. Understood, master. The 8 great slaves replied solemnly, let's go. Luo Feng gave the order through Barbata to their quantum computers. The 8 great slaves didn't even reply, following Luo Feng into the villa, the 9 reaching the foot of the wall. The 4 of you will stay out here and stand guard, be prepared for orders. Luo Feng ordered. The four nodded, not daring to make a sound. The rest will follow me. Luo Feng too didn't make a sound, only directing. Luo Feng and the other four sneakily began to enter the conquered large villa. Luckily, with Barbata's scanning and surveillance, any person's position and movement were all within his grasp. The only thing was, Luo Feng still didn't dare get careless, even controlling his heartbeat to the point where it was stopped for a while. After all, the weakest on the enemy side was still at least a star level 7. They were all extremely vigilant people. Even heartbeats could arouse their suspicion and notice. Controlling one's heartbeat to temporarily stop wasn't necessarily a hard thing. Normal student-level fighters could slow down their heartbeats already. Star Traveler fighters could even stop their hearts for half an hour, much less Luo Feng, who was a Star Level 1 spirit reader. He could even simply destroy his heart and nothing would even happen. There's someone heading here, he'll discover you in about 1.1 seconds. On the left, 52 meters away, there's someone coming down the stairs. In front, Barbata's frequent warnings made Luo Feng and the other four extremely nervous and careful. Within the villa, in a particular building, a luxurious room on the 3rd floor, there were 2 Star Level 9 fighters standing guard. Within the room, Tuo Lei Wu sat cross-legged, currently within the virtual universe reporting the situation to the family head. Head ancestor, Nuolan Shan Guard Rongji, is leading a small team and is currently heading towards the destination. I estimate they'll reach 15 days later. Tuo Lei Wu stood at attention, his eyes filled with excitement and worship. The human silhouette on the screen before him was the man with the highest power and authority within the entire Nuolan Shan family. Tuo Lei Wu was filled with great pride and passion. To be able to meet with the founder of the family, this was such an honor. One had to know even the elite heir Pula only got to meet Nuolan Shan for the first time also because of this incident. 15 days. Nuolan Shan's gaze was cold, the corners of his mouth curling slightly. Very well, you currently have the position of Great Captain, right? Nuolan Shan said casually, yes, head ancestor. Tuo Lei Wu said respectfully, when this matter is done, you will be promoted to commander. Nuolan Shan said directly, and be awarded with a family medal. Tuo Lei Wu and the others were all outsiders, hence normally the highest position they could ever achieve was as a commander. Of course, if they reached the universe level, they'd become something the Kaluo Empire, Silver Blue Empire, etc. would fight to have. Staying within the Nuolan Shan family, they naturally would receive an even higher position, comparable to even the heads. Tuo Lei Wu looked happy and excited, replying loudly, yes, head ancestor, on Earth, be more careful with the captured leaders and hostages, don't let anything happen. Nuolan Shan warned, head ancestor, there definitely won't be anything that'll disrupt the plan, I guarantee with my life. Tuo Lei Wu was extremely confident facing the head ancestor. Nuolan Shan slightly nodded. He was satisfied with the way his underlings were handling matters seriously. Luo Feng, in front of you 150 meters ahead, is the place where they are holding the leaders of the 5 great countries, and Shushin and Luo Hua. Right now, we are unable to get any closer. That level is the place within the villa with the most number of fighters. The Nuolan Shan family little team of 60 members, 32 of them are in that level, including 9 who are at star level 9. Barbata warned Luo Feng, the entire villa was huge. The number of other people in the other areas wasn't considered large at all. Luo Feng had no choice but to gradually draw closer. The captive place is guarded by 2 star level 9 guards. Barbata warned, the other people guarding are quite a bit further. Luo Feng's thoughts moved. The cloud contact vine swiftly covered his face. 1 was for safety, 2, he didn't want the Nuolan Shan family people to know that he was Luo Feng. 150 meter, you are all at star level 9. Flying speed within space can reach a max of 150,000 meter per second on Earth. Because of the air resistance, you'd be much slower. But you'll still be able to hit 50,000 meter per second. I now request for you all to reach within 150 meter of that room with your greatest speed. 2 of you will be in charge of pinning down the guards while the other 2 will be in charge of saving people. Luo Feng's orders were transmitted to their quantum computers. The 4 great slaves nodded. Then Luo Feng looked at the building before him, his eyes squinting. Let's do it. The 4 great slaves, star level 9 warriors, and Luo Feng. The 4 slaves had a flying speed of about 50,000 meter per second, even though Luo Feng was only a star level 1, however relying on the level 3 spirit weapon soaring shuttle along with great awareness, his speed could still exceed 20,000 meter per second. Within the room, Shushin, Luo Hua and the leaders of the 5 countries were scattered in the different corners of the room. Nothing but a blanket was spread across the floor. What are you looking at? A guard sitting in a chair stared at the leaders of Europe, pointing as he snorted, "Someone like you, a country leader. However, I do have to say, your Earth is only just this big, to actually have so many countries. Within the universe's low-level civilizations, they usually contain a few galaxies, millions of life planets." The moment his words left his mouth, the wall violently exploded apart. A strong and sturdily built man, huge man, with a lion head dressed in battle armor rushed in, immediately reaching right in front of the guard. 150-meter distance, 50,000 meter per second. What did it mean? It was faster than a blink of the eye. As it was simply too fast, faster than the speed of sound by many times. The moment the two guards felt the powerful auras, the four slaves only had a distance of 10 m between them. Following that, they immediately engaged in battle. What? Luo Hua and Shushin stared. Two long vines fiercely rose from the ground and wrapped them, the leaves wrapping them separately. Luo Feng controlled 7 vines and separated they wrapped around the 7 hostages. One had to know back then during the Misty Island incident, the cloud contact vine numbers were already plentiful, much less the currently already star level 3 cloud contact vine. With regards to just the cloud contact vine's growth speed, Luo Feng's particular one was indeed fast. At least it was much faster than Luo Feng's human body training. Capture them quickly. The entire villa had suddenly rumbled and exploded into chaos. With the naked eye, one could only see shockwaves whistling and spreading in every direction. Not only did it level the villa completely, the surrounding residential district alleys too suddenly received large amounts of shockwaves that destroyed and leveled the area. Back during the attack on West Lake Courtyard, the main courtyard itself was a few square meters. And this villa wasn't that big. Plus, during the last time, all the attacks were directed at the castle. This time, however, was a group of star level 9 warriors attacking each other seriously. Some of the attacks were dodged and naturally hit the walls and ground. Capture that red armored person. Tuo Lei Wu became like a flash, rushing towards the sky. With one look, he could gaze far and wide, a person clad in blood-red armor with 7 vines extended, wrapped around 7 people. No need to send me off. A universe ship appeared in mid-air suddenly. The cabin door was opened from earlier on. The person clad in blood-red armor carried the 7 and swiftly entered the cabin. The universe ship immediately disappeared. With regards to speed, the universe ship's speed was many times faster than a star level 9. Lure them towards the Pacific Ocean. These are the coordinates. At the same time, Luo Feng sent out the order to the 8 Great Slaves mini-quantum computers. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.